Hello and welcome. This is episode 16. I'm Joseph the Voice. Welcome to JTV Entertainment Group. Today we're going to be hanging out with TheRealJayTim. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate you.
Oh, definitely. We go way back. I mean, out of all of my streamer friends, I actually say you'd probably be my oldest streamer friend. We go back quite a bit actually to little tykes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hanging out, running around the neighborhood.
With you?
Yeah, me. You got Mike Serpy. You got Corey Brown, rest his soul. Great guy. And a couple of those other amazing souls that kind of just popped in and out throughout the years. But you've always been there. You've been a constant. You know, going over to NYPB. You definitely came down there a bunch. We're a hype man. You were helping run tournaments. Won a few tournaments yourself. You've kind of just been all over the place, and I know we're still pushing to get you and Ahmad Green playing together soon. I know you guys have mingled a little bit, but we got to get something recorded and put up on the big screen, you know?
Yeah.
I'm loving your
Ahmad, I know you're watching this video right now, so hit me up at TheRealJayTim on Twitter. So I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna throw out there, I really love your backdrop. It's just, I feel like I'm looking through comic book ages. It's beautiful. And then you got the Mandalorian in the corner. Gotta love Mando, you know? So
right.
But yeah, so we're basically here today. We're going to ask you a few questions. We got a list of questions that we've asked a few different awesome content creators. But, you know, I think we should talk a little bit about kind of who you are, kind of a little bit about what you do. Because people might not know this, but I know me and you have a similar kind of background. I recently became a teacher, but you've been a teacher for a while now. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
So... yeah, it's actually kind of bizarre to think about, but I've been a teacher for 6 years now, which if you traveled back 10 years ago and said, hey, Jamie's going to be a teacher in high school one day, everybody would laugh you out of the building. They're like, there's no way. And so here we are 10 years later, I've been teaching for 6 years. I teach high school. I absolutely love it. I've been at my current school for about 4 years now, and it's great. I love doing it. I think I bring something different to the table, you know, because I'm very much my personality in real life is literally my personality in the classroom. And I think that's something that kids appreciate. But yeah, no, I love doing it. And then I've been doing the streaming thing for been taking it serious for about 4 months now. So actually it feels like I've been doing it a little longer because I've streamed here and there for a while. But taking it serious and actually going for about 4 months now.
Because you were doing YouTube and stuff about a year ago. You were starting to push kind of serious on YouTube for a while, but you've been actually pushing pretty serious as a content creator now on Twitch for basically since the year flipped over.
Yeah. So the funny thing with that, right? So I here and there for fun streamed on Twitch for about a year and a half to 2 years, just randomly playing Madden or Resident Evil, but mostly just streaming, playing video games, and just kind of testing it out. And then I was actually having a conversation with one of my kids, well, my students, I call them my kids, but they had mentioned to me, oh, are you Twitch affiliate? I'll use my Amazon Prime on you as a joke. And then I was like, no, I don't have affiliate. And I didn't know much about what a Twitch affiliate was or anything like that. And then they were like, why not? And then I don't know, because I didn't think that I could do it, and I didn't know what affiliate was or how to but I just had no clue. And then they were like, oh, you should go for it. And
you did.
I was like, you know, what, why not? I got nothing to lose. And then so you know, I went for it and started taking it more seriously and just kind of doing my homework on what makes an effective stream and how to build a community and how to engage your audience and things like that.
Yeah, no, me and you sat down a few times and talked about that, and I'm glad that you know, poked my ear, because I definitely love just chatting with you about that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm honestly amazed with how far you've came so far. Keep up the amazing work,
thank you.
Guy. So
it's still a work in progress. By the way, I apologize if I'm looking off screen a lot. So I got my cats here that just absolutely love me. But
number one cat dad on Twitch, I'm telling you.
Cat dad of the year. It's already locked up. So 2022.
You come to my stream. You come to my stream. Exclamation! The real JTim. Boom! Right there. But I did want to say, you were mentioning your kids, you were mentioning school. I know that there's something really cool that you've done in the past. We've actually done fundraisers and stuff in the past, and I really don't want to pass over that kind of stuff because it's pretty unique, some of the stuff that you have done.
Yeah, so I've written grants before. There's a website called Donors Choose, and so basically you can write grants where you you just kind of talk about what you need, materials that could benefit your classroom, and then donors, like read your grants and then offer donations to your, and I've gotten a lot of those funded, which is really nice. Been able to get everything from books to bow ties to weights for our weight room, and like it's awesome just seeing like, you know, members of the you got to keep this in the video.
Number
just
one
like,
star.
Awesome. Yeah, look at that. I brought you up. You had to jump in right away, huh? But just like seeing members of the community kind of rally behind students and say like, oh, like you know, these materials will enhance your classroom. Here you go. Like I said, like several class sets of novels and just other things, weights, field trips funded. It's amazing. So.
I definitely think the bow tie was one of my favorite things, just because it was like you were trying to get money specifically for like younger gentlemen who wanted to get bow ties, who just wanted to feel more like, you know, a little bit more classy and out there. And I mean,
yeah.
Well,
it was everybody, and it was honestly more of a community thing for my classroom. So like we do bow tie Tuesdays, and so I have something called the Tibrary in my room. And so what happened was I wrote a grant and I said, hey, like we should, if I get bow ties donated, will you all wear them on Tuesdays? And then they all said yes. And then lo and behold, like a day later, we get $250 worth of bow ties shipped to my classroom. And so we started the Tibrary, and so like my students would wear bow ties every Tuesday. It was really cool.
That's beautiful. And that's the like when you're saying, when you bring that like different level of enjoyment or excitement to the classroom, I feel like that's why I personally just always enjoyed you as a person, is you keep it very real. And I try to do the same thing in my classroom, where like the other day I had Tryhouse, the professional content creator for SSG Gaming. I love your cat. I love your cat. Yeah, just he was in my class and we were just kind of hanging out for about an hour. We kind of shot the breeze a little bit. I'm actually gonna be posting a video on YouTube about kind of the coverage of what happened during that you know, that meeting, or that hangout is what I'll call it. The kids were, it was funny because I mean, you know how it is, the kids show up to class, they're all talking, you love it, but you're like, hey, I need you guys to quiet down for a second. They're just talking. Well, Tryhouse comes and they're all stone cold silence, and I'm like, all right guys, literally I had to ask my entire class to unmute. I was like, all right everybody, unmute right now and say hello to Tryhouse. They're all like, hi Tryhouse. It was beautiful. Are you back to in person now?
Not yet. So we're going back in a couple weeks. Not all my students are going to be going back, but I've been teaching virtually all year through COVID and stuff. And so it's actually interesting. I think the teaching online thing and the streaming thing have gone hand in hand as far as like me getting better. I think teaching online has helped me to become a better streamer, and streaming and being comfortable interacting over a screen has helped me to be a better virtual teacher, just because like you have to engage, you know, your audience, whether it's an audience of viewers on Twitch or whether it is an audience of students that you're trying to educate. Like you have to engage them over a screen, and that's really not something I was and I wasn't very comfortable doing that like before this year, to be honest. Like it was very awkward at first, and I'm knowledgeable about technology and things like that, but I struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year with like talking over a mic and staring at a screen all day. And then like on Twitch, I was like, this is really awkward. And like, so this experience, like it hasn't been ideal obviously, but it definitely, like it's helped me to become a better streamer and a better virtual teacher, like doing both at the same time, I think.
Yeah, and I'm honestly, I can wholeheartedly agree. And I was actually going to ask you how you felt about them going kind of hand in hand, because even for me, I would say like, because I'm the reverse of you. Like I was streaming and then I became a teacher, whereas you were a teacher then became streaming. And like I mean honestly, I mean, we can go back to the daily dosage. I'm literally almost about to hit a year on that on Facebook, which is ridiculous. 365 days straight of me just trying to send out positivity, trying to send out love. That's what kind of started me feeling comfortable in front of the screen. And then I started doing streaming, and then I was like, hey, you know, you want to be a virtual teacher? And I was like, you know, sure, we'll try this out. And I would have felt a lot more awkward had I not had this like beginning presence of understanding of how to just navigate, like you said, an audience, whether they're your viewers in your stream or they're your class, and you just got to, you know, rally them to get them focused. So, but I definitely do appreciate, you know, you bringing that type of mentality and perspective. So let's dive into some of these questions though. Let's have a little bit of fun with this.
I know I haven't been this nervous for a set of questions since the job interview. This is exciting. Ooh.
So we're gonna talk about nerves. Why don't we talk about fears? Number one, what is your greatest fear?
Well, my greatest fear already happened, which was them taking The Office off of Netflix. So Netflix, Still mad at you for that one. Peacock, you blew it. No, my biggest fear would probably be, I'm gonna say drowning. Like I feel like there's not a lot of things I'm super afraid of, but drowning has always been something that like freaked me out a little bit.
Honestly, yeah, I'm more afraid of like heights than I am of like drowning, but like I feel like that's like kind of like a reversing. You're going too deep and you're getting suffocated versus like, yeah, no, yep, I can understand on that.
I would jump out of an airplane with a parachute, okay, to clarify. But I would jump out of an airplane before I would jump into like a deep sea any day of the week, honestly.
So it's funny because like as I get older, I've noticed that like, so I love water, right? Like I love water. Like I'll go to Lake Michigan and I'm like, oh, you know, Lake Michigan, what's up? Then I go to like the ocean, I'm like, I don't want to go in there. Like I don't want to go in there. That's just scary.
Yeah.
Riptides, currents, like unknown things underneath the water. Like, nope.
Right.
Nope. All right. So number 2, that did not just happen, guys. We're gonna pretend like that didn't just happen.
All right, timestamp right here. Edit that out.
Goodness,
or keep it in. Keep it in for the try to get a sponsorship or something.
You know, T-Mobile. It's in the house. Yeah. All right, number 2. What surprises people about you?
What surprises people about me? Probably that I'm 29 years old. Like, a lot of times I get, like, the how old are you question or blah, blah, blah. And then I tell people my age and they're like, oh, really? I don't know if it's just because I still act like a child or because like to some people I look younger, but like when I tell them my age, they're like, oh, are you really? I've actually at school, I've been confused for a student several times. There was one instance I can remember where I was taking my kids on a field trip, came back at the end of the day, and I had a sub in my room at the end of the day. She was covering my classes. And so I had the keys to my classroom. Like I come open my door, I go to say hey to my last class of the day. And she asked me for a pass. Legit was like, do you have a pass? And then I was like, for what? Like I was so confused. And like, I thought it was a joke, but I was like, it's not like, it wasn't funny the way she asked. So I didn't laugh. And she's like, well, like you're like 30 minutes late. I'm like, oh, this is my classroom. Like I work here. And she's like, oh, okay. I didn't I'm like, oh my God. So like that happens sometimes.
That's great. Honestly, that's absolutely great. All right, so number 3, what are your plans in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, so I think I think it's like a 2-part answer. So like number 1, like as far as like the streaming and Twitch stuff goes, like I just want to continue to like keep going forward and keep getting better and keep building. I don't have like any necessarily long-term goals, I guess.
Right.
I have like short-term goals and things I want to accomplish, but like I haven't thought about this like 5 years out from a streaming perspective. Just like continue to stay consistent and keep improving and growing and getting better. From a professional aspect, continuing to like, I love teaching. Like it's definitely my passion, and like working with young people is my passion.
Right.
Continuing to do that. I do eventually want to go into counseling. So school counselor is a long-term goal professionally.
Okay.
Just because I feel like I can definitely help like in that role as well. And so eventually I do want to go get my master's for counseling. So I don't know if that's going to be within the next 5 years, but it's definitely on my radar.
I mean, to me, that sounds like a 5-year plan. I mean, that's beautiful. I definitely hope the best for you, and I definitely think you do fantastic at it. So, well, I mean, here's something. So like, if you could open your own business, though, what would it be and why?
If I could open my own business, probably some kind of like variety shop where that sells like I don't want to say like open a comic book store, but just like stuff that sells like memorabilia and like collectibles and like games and parts and stuff like that. Just like all the things that I like.
So a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of knick-knack.
Yeah, but like those are tough to like run and own and stuff like that. Like I also definitely think like some kind of like gaming lounge or something like that would be a lot of fun to be a part of. I know like all the stuff we did at NYPB, like hosting tournaments, doing things like that. That was a great outlet for people.
Exactly.
So, you know, something like that too.
All right, well, definitely some great ambitions there. Number 5, tell me 3 things on your bucket list, mister.
All right, 3 things on my bucket list. Number 1, go skydiving. Definitely. I want to go skydiving so bad.
Never.
And like, if you've been skydiving, let me know in the comments what it was like and like where I can go to get a deal, because I so want to go skydiving and like I'll spend the money to do it for sure. Number 2, I would love to go to either a Super Bowl or a WrestleMania. Probably more a Super Bowl at this point, because wrestling is kind of not as fun lately. But a Super Bowl or a WrestleMania, just like that whole event. And number 3 on my bucket list would be to attend a TwitchCon. Like that'd be so much fun. A TwitchCon, or I'm gonna group in TwitchCon and Comic-Con, because I've never actually been to one, but I always see like videos and clips and pictures, and like it just looks like such an awesome time and just like a lot of good networking and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to go. I wanted to go last year. I actually had tickets lined up to go to a GDQ and go check it out and watch some Resident Evil speedruns. And then like, obviously everything got shut down last year. So hopefully by this time next year, I'm booking a ticket to go somewhere.
There we go. I've never been to any like super, like the biggest con I've been to had like 10,000 plus people at it. So like, it's still pretty big, but I've never been to one that had like, you know, tens of thousands of people at it. So it definitely would be interesting going to one of those like bigger ones like Comic-Con or TwitchCon or something like that.
We could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I could just go skydiving like in the TwitchCon. Like imagine like skydiving in a TwitchCon, like land in the middle of there and just like business cards with my URL just like fly out, just,
like drones and just drawn into people's pockets like
yeah. Yeah, I'd get like 7 new followers off of that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Number 6, what is your personal definition of success?
Whew. All right. That's a very challenging question to answer. I think success looks a lot of different ways. I think ultimately being successful looks like being a good person, being kind to others, and accomplishing your goals.
There we go.
I think being successful, like obviously it's important to set goals, and whether they're short-term goals, long-term goals, work towards them, you know, ultimately like achieve them, or, you know, continue to work towards them. And like not every goal that you set, you're gonna meet. Like sometimes it doesn't work out and you have to either like modify or change course, and it's also okay. But
I mean, failure is a huge part of success.
Right. It's, you know, just because you say like you put it on a whiteboard, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, it doesn't always mean it's gonna happen. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes you gotta change course. But I think an important part of success to me is being a good person and being kind to others, because you can do everything in the world, but if you're selfish, self-centered, a jerk, like to me, that's not really leading a successful lifestyle. And that's not a successful lifestyle or a fulfilling lifestyle. So I think kindness is very important. Ultimately, you know, achieving goals that you set out for yourself, like being able to like take care of yourself, support yourself, do what you're passionate about, that's success. And it looks different for everybody, you know, like one person's success might not matter to somebody else, but like ultimately like setting out goals that are important to you and accomplishing them is very important. So,
and that's why I'm glad that I asked that question, because everybody's going to have their own defined, you know, version of success. And that's why I like to hear kind of what every individualized person feels about it. Because I mean, it's a hodgepodge when it comes to like what is defined as success, but it's defined by each person individually, and that's for sure. So
yeah. And and another thing I want to say too is success can be big or small. Like you can have small successes every day, and like sometimes just getting up and like getting through your day and like accomplishing one small task, like that's a success. And you need to like, while it's important to continue to strive to improve and be better, it's also important to recognize those successes and like celebrate yourself for it. Exactly. So like I think I sometimes can fall into the trap of like being a perfectionist, and like it can be better, and like not stopping to realize, oh, you know what? Yeah, it can be better, and here's what we can do to make it better next time. Right. However, you did accomplish this, so like pat yourself on the back, be proud of that. Like, yeah, we can do better next time, but don't, you know, make sure you also stop to smell the roses as well.
Right. I mean, it could be as simple as something as just going up to somebody and saying hello when you've been like just fearful of like approaching people. So
Yeah.
All right, number 7. If you retired tomorrow and wanted to start a wildly different second career, what would you do?
If I retired tomorrow and wanted to start a wildly different second career, so like I'll get out of the education realm, because like my second career would potentially be counseling, but like let's just say that I retired from that, which probably will never happen, but hypothetically,
let's say you fulfilled your counseling, let's say you fulfilled your teaching, let's say you're like at a point in your life where you have enough money where you can just take care of what you need to, like you're comfortable, so you can now just do what you would like to do. What would you do?
probably something with like streaming or esports, or just like sports in general. I love, see, that's so tough, because now like I'm thinking like, what if I started a podcast about superheroes and like stuff? I don't know, like there's a lot of different things. I think just like maybe making content about things I'm passionate about, whether it's like sports or like superhero stuff, or working on continuing to do streaming and stuff like that. I think just like if I was able to retire and I was taken care of and all that, just focusing on the things that make me happy.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Well, number 8. Who do you look up to the most, and what qualities do you love most about that person?
Who do I look up to the most, and what qualities? All right, so like I'm gonna give a super cliche answer. So like I really do look up to my mom. She definitely is the kindest person that I know, and the most selfless person that I know, and like I really admire that about her. And so like that kind of has helped shape me into being like someone who like I think is kind. Like I'm not gonna sit here and brag and be like, oh, like I'm so nice, blah blah blah. But like definitely, you know, she instilled in me from a very young age that like being kind to everybody, no matter what, is always important.
Right.
And like just the way, you know, it's not something that she says. She also like leads by example and like shows that on a daily basis. Definitely the kind of person to like give you not only the jacket off her back, but like the shoes and the socks also, like whatever you need, like she will do it despite the circumstances.
That's beautiful.
So like that's something I definitely admire about her. If you're mom, if you're watching this, hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I don't know, she probably will watch this. But no, and just like yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I know it's a super cliche answer.
There's nothing cliche about loving mom, you know? I mean, moms, they do amazing things for us, and you can't really like, sometimes it's really hard to define. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of my favorite questions, because you never know what you might find out about someone when asking them these types of questions, but what is one thing people don't know about you?
What is one thing people don't know about me? You know, I don't know. I really don't. Like, what do people not know about me? People might not.
I think this is the more the general broad public that you're just like, here's a wild like statistic or fact about me.
Jesus. Should I say people don't know that I have cats? That's not true, because they always jump into my streams all the time. No, I don't know. I truly don't know, because I feel like I'm a pretty open book. I don't really keep a lot like inside, so I'm not sure if there's anything that people really don't know about me. I feel like anytime people ask me stuff, like I'll tell them. But
Respect.
oh, yeah, I know that's not a very good answer. I literally have no clue. In the comments, ask me questions. I'll answer them.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can always go and check him out. I mean, hey, and with that being said, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/TheRealJayTim, JAYTIM. I currently, as of today, I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights, and then Saturdays either in the mornings or at night. But yeah, follow me on Twitch. On Twitter, I always tweet out updates about when I go live and stuff like that. But that's where we've been at. I have a YouTube channel also, but I never upload to it. So I mean, you can sub if you want, but you won't see anything for like 6 months.
He'll get back on it eventually. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's tough too, because you know, there's only so many hours in the day, and doing YouTube is challenging and stuff. And you know this, right? Editing, posting, you know, thumbnails, it's very time consuming. And so for me, like by the time my work day's over and I'm done, you know, doing whatever I need to do for school and then streaming, like YouTube is always the odd thing out, you know? And so maybe eventually at some point, we've been talking about this in my stream, but maybe I cut back on the streaming hours and do YouTube more, but I like streaming a lot more. So I'm like,
I love it, man. Well, whatever you need help with, man, I'm here. And I definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and talk to me, talk to the JTV Entertainment family, and definitely just have a wonderful day with it, you know?
Yeah. Here, I got something you can insert for something that people don't know about me. Something that people don't know about me is that I have cats. You don't believe me? Look at that. Lukey, you're on camera now.
There you go, guys. The world's most famous cat from JTV Entertainment. There we go. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I will see you later.
Peace out, y'all.